All right, welcome back to the channel. I appreciate you all for stopping in and checking out the video. So today, what we're gonna go over is how to prepare a brand new vehicle for a long-term coating. This is a 2025 Subaru Forester. It's got like 1,800 miles on the odometer. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna do a good deep clean on wheels, tires, fender wells. We're going to wash the body, do a full decon, and this whole process is going to be used, or I'm going to use DIY detail products. Other than I have some GTECHNIQ bug remover that I'm going to spray on the front before I foam it down for the initial foaming. Only reason I'm doing that, I got like 2 small bottles of the stuff and all my other vehicles are coated, so the bugs kind of just blast off. So I'm doing this to get through some products, just so it's not sitting in my garage for a ridiculous amount of time. But first, clean the wheels and tires, wash the vehicle, do an iron decon with the DIY clay towel, rinse, water spot remover, and then rinse that off. And then we are going to back it in the garage, dry it, and that will be the wrap for this video. So what I have in my wash bucket is incredible SUDS, and that is also in my foam cannon. I have about an ounce-ish in my foam cannon. I didn't really measure it, but hey, whatever. So let's cut to the chase and get the show on the road and start off with wheels and tires. All right, so step 1 is going to be cleaning wheels and tires. Now actually, for this I'm going to be using ADS wheel and tire cleaner. I'm curious to see what kind of iron fallout might be on these wheels, but we will use all clean 15:1 for the fender well. So let's start off with pre-spraying. And then we got our wheel cleaner. And I'm gonna put this one on first just so it can dwell a little bit longer. Once I'm done putting that on, I'll go into the mechanical clean of the fender well and then the tires. Let me rinse that off. I'll fudge that up. My genius self sprayed the wheel cleaner on the tire. Whoops. I'm very curious though, is there going to be any contamination after 1,700 miles, 1,800 miles? I don't know. Right now it's not looking like it, but that's fine. And now we'll get our tire cleaner. That way, if the dealership has put any of their tire dressing on here, this will strip it off. Now, you can already see all the browning being pulled off of the tire. Good job. Yeah, look at all that gunk. I bet you that's a combination of dirt and old dressing. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to double clean it too. See, we got some sun out just now. It was nice and shaded with the light breeze. Oh yeah. I bet they put some oily, gunky, disgusting tire dressing on this thing. Let's see. Actually, what's the year? 4th week. So yeah, these are old enough. All right, so we're gonna rinse off all of this stuff. So we got that sprayed off. Now what we're going to do is I'm going to use my wheel mitt, and I'm just going to go around and get into all the nooks and crannies on the wheel face. Because fortunately, the vehicle's not very dirty. So there's nothing crazy to contend with. More than likely, I bet the dealership put some kind of wax or very, very light sealant on here. Let me grab my wheel, my lug nut brush. Cram it in there. And then get around your valve stem cap. All right. And now we will do the barrel. Once again, I doubt there's a whole lot of junk in here, but pretty sure I can feel some contamination inside the barrel because it's not 100% smooth. It kind of feels a little bit gritty. All right. Now what we'll do is tire cleaning round 2, maybe even 3. We're just going to let it sit and work. Now, ABS makes a fantastic tire cleaner, but as you can see, it's still pulling more browning off. Or honestly, at this point, it's probably old tire dressing that's on there. But if I'm wrong, please let me know in the comments if you know. So, yeah, disgusting. Now, another tip you can do, because there could be some wheel cleaner in there remaining, to get that out, remove your tip and just flush it. Get around each lug nut. You can hit the valve stem cap if you want. And that's that. And you know what? I'm curious. Let me do a round 3 of tire cleaner. Let it sit for a little bit. Let's see if any more comes off or is 2 the magic trick. I hope 2's the magic trick. Oh yeah. Nice white foam. Now, if you have a little bit older tire, I wouldn't do 3 rounds. The only reason I did 3 rounds on this tire is to see if I needed 3 rounds to pull it off. But I'm also just making sure that that old tire dressing that the dealership put on here is gone. Alright, that's it. Let me finish up the rest of the tires and wheels, and we'll be right back on the next section. Alright, so we are back with the wash. Wheels and tires are nice and clean. It doesn't have any of that gunk on it anymore. So I got the GTECHNIQ bug remover right here, and I'm gonna have to work quick, so I'm not talking a lot in the camera because I'm gonna be working fast because I got sun beaten down on the paint. So there's some bugs on the front that I'm gonna treat, and only reason I'm using this product is just to get it gone. So you're gonna pre-treat the front, and that's gonna start chewing up, emulsifying, and breaking down all that bug matter. I don't think I need to hit the windshield at all. Now, since you don't want it to dry on the surface, we are going to foam over it immediately. Working to break down bugs, the guts, and any loose contamination and dirt that is on the surface. So while we wait on this as well, got my bucket all foamed up. And here's the neat little trick that makes sense that I saw on, I believe it was the House of Rags channel, when they were going over Yum Car Care. What the owner of Yum said, I believe his name is Nick, is when you foam your bucket, you start down at the bottom and slowly raise it up. That way you are mixing the soap if it's settled down to the bottom, and you're mixing it all through the tube on the bucket. So since the sun is out, we got a breeze, we are watching to make sure it doesn't dry on the surface. Luckily for me, this vehicle was not heavily soiled at all. So it's just minor contamination and dirt. So we can see this is already drying up. So let's rinse off. And I like starting from top and work my way down. Bug remover knocked off maybe 90% of the bugs. The second foam and the contact wash will take care of the rest. But just so you're not just sitting here watching me spray off a car, let me pause y'all real quick and move on from there. Man, what the... All right. First rinse done. Let's refoam and get on to the contact wash. Now your second foam does not need to be heavy. So that's why I am quickly going around. Starting from top and going down to the bottom. I'm not really feeling any contamination on the mitt, at least. So I don't think there shouldn't be anything heavy to contend with. So that just means that comes to the clay mitt stage, the clay towel, that's not going to take long. Which is great. Because the sooner I can get this done, in the garage and out of the beaten sun, the better. I don't need a step ladder like this one. Funny enough though, I'm sharp one of the nails. Here. Now, another tip for people who have to work in the sun, redunk your wash mitt more frequently. Keep it sudsed up and as lubricated as possible. And that will help replenish the moisture to the surface of the vehicle. One thing I will say, I know this grill is nowhere near the fanciest on the market, but fancy grills are a headache to wash. All right, just like that, the wash is done. Now, we are into the perforated synthetic clay tile. And what I'm doing here is breaking it in on the glass first. I'm going to show you a little tip here in a little bit. Once I'm done, making my way around and hitting all the glass. So you can all see that it's starting to dry out. And you want to prevent that, so lessen it as much as possible. So when I'm done here, I'll show you a nifty little trick. And there's actually a couple of them that you can do. As suspected, I'm not really feeling anything. Before I show you the trick, let's see if I have enough suds in here to do a light refoaming. I personally like to do that just to add more slickness. But I got a trick up my sleeve. Mix it around. Now you grab your iron remover. Make sure the spray is right. Spray on the towel. Spray on the surface. Oh yeah. I'm feeling nothing out here. Now, what you're doing with your clay towel now is you're guiding it with your hand to distribute the product and decontaminate at the same time. Depending on how contaminated your vehicle is, you'll be able to feel it and hear it as well. Lightly go over the grill. Like I said, I am feeling nothing. Keep on the plastic. All right, here's the trick. Let's say you're in my situation, you ran out of Incredible SUDS in your bucket or your foam cannon. You could dunk your foam cannon back in, spray it back over the surface. I don't want to do that, so what I have is DIY rinseless wash and my sprayer here. There we go. We're going to spray the surface again, getting it re-lubricated. Now this side is in the shade, so I'm going to pre-spray this whole side. There we go. So funny enough, on the glass, you can see where there was some sort of protection that was put on, but you can see the water spots underneath. We're done with the clay towel. Iron decon. Rinse. We are now on to water spot remover. Now what you want to do is get your towel, wring it out most of the way. We're going to take water spot remover and I'm going to work on non-sunny side. We're going to hit this glass. It's going to go down the whole side of the vehicle. There's a strong vinegar then to it. One for the top. And you're just going to lightly go over the surface, agitating in your water spot remover. Here, water spot remover step, since you already did a good job washing the vehicle and did a thorough job, you don't have to, so you don't want to flip the towel. Look at the glass a little more, see if that makes a difference. God, I wonder, see these water spots that they left on here. I wonder if the C6 app will take care of it. Alright, so we're going to pause until I get done with this and then move on to the final rinse. And my damn watch keeps zooming in, so we'll be back. All right, you're done with water spot. Now you rinse. I like going top to bottom. So one thing you'll notice, previously, if you could see, the water was flat, but it's actually beating now. The reason it is beating is because it was contaminated with minerals. Those minerals are no longer on there, so now the paint is actually sheeting and beating some of the water. Now, according to Ivan, he says, since they're using high quality ingredients in their products, it's not a big deal if it dries on the surface short term. So when you're doing this, if you don't have a shop to work in, move with a purpose. So, before we finish up, we're going to use some quick beads on the wheels and fender wells real quick to add that protection, because I'm not going to coat every little aspect of these. Spray, get your barrels. And then, since it is windy, I am going to do one wheel at a time. But once I finish this one, I'll pause and we will reconvene in the garage on the next part. So this will be the end of this video. how that white froth goes away. Alright, that's going to be a wrap for this portion of the video. So whoever ends up buying this nice 2025 Forester, they're going to have a properly decontaminated vehicle and a nice couple month protection on the wheels and fender wells. This is going to be a wrap, everyone. All the products that I used in the video I'll be putting in the description below, and you can find them at DIYdetail.com. The bug remover and ADS you can find at Car Supplies Warehouse or the Rag Company. I will leave descriptions in the below and links. Sorry about that. It's a little toasty out here. So use, and I'll also leave my discount codes for both of those sites down below. Car Supplies Warehouse is Matt 10. DIY Detail is Neil 10. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell notification, and share it with a friend if they may get some good use out of it. And I'm going to catch you on the next one. Have a great day, everybody.